Hi guys, welcome to Without a Candle. We're your hosts,
Hey guys, I'm Carla.
and I'm Carly. Welcome to season two.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
man.
last half of the year has been crazy figuring out like dynamic
hmm
and audio and um scheduling.
Timing is definitely one of the trickier things.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to get together, trying to navigate
Yeah.
other people's schedules as well. Um, and then finding time and remembering, right?
hmm
Because it's a new habit for me is remembering to quickly edit and get these scheduled to post every Friday.
Yeah.
So I know that there's some weeks that we have missed, but that's okay. We don't have to be perfect all the time.
Forever.
Yeah, or ever,
Yeah.
really. So as we finish out 2025, we are excited to begin a new chapter of Without a Candle.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's important to tie in all the things, all the people. And I feel like there was a moment there, places, right?
yeah,
So experiences
yeah,
of what allows us to be here
yeah,
now
hmm
together, um, and do the things. And the so we may have the practice and the foundation and the business and the building and all the things, but the glue is the community.
yeah,
And so it was
yeah,
super important, for us to continue to share, and support the community.
yeah.
So
So what that looks like is introducing some pretty phenomenal people that are
yeah.
in our community to you guys so you can um, kind of get a better idea of what spirituality looks like to other people
Mhm.
within our community and our practitioners. And when it comes to our practitioners, what they offer helps your spiritual journey, your healing journey, XYZ, right?
Mhm.
Like all of the things. So throughout the season, you will meet people from pretty much all paths of life
Absolutely, yeah.
that share a common
Mhm.
goal, and that is to just live a more simple, enlightened life,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Um, and you guys will hear stories of trauma, of
Mhm.
healing, of spiritual introductions.
A lot of whys,
Yep.
right? And if you're not quite on a known spiritual journey yet, or you don't even know what that means, that's okay.
hmm
Come on in, join us for fun and fellowship and laughter and tears
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
support. And
Aha
it's a
moments.
absolute, yeah, aha moments for
Yeah.
sure, and realization,
hmm
moments of gratitude, reflection, like all of the things.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability is
And
huge.
also, you guys get to be witness, right? Witness to the things that have happened,
hmm
the growth that continues to happen, lots of transformation,
Yeah.
especially when we get into the client shares. Um, some clients didn't even know that there was other options or other
Yeah.
paths when we first met.
Yeah.
And to see them
hmm
now, um, in a better light, right?
Yeah,
For
for
the
sure.
greater good, because that's the mission, that's the
hmm
purpose, right?
Yeah.
Why we do all the things is to help those
Yeah.
along our journey. And I mean, we're still on the journey too, right?
Right. So as you start diving into this season,
Mhm.
you may notice that some of the episodes are a little longer
Mhm.
than our normal
Yeah.
episodes. But that's just because we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to share,
Mhm.
and there are some pretty profound messages in these conversations, and we hope that there's something that you guys can take away from each one. Maybe not the whole episode will resonate with you,
Mhm.
but I encourage you to still stick it out and listen, just because there might be something somewhere that you're like, oh, okay, that does make
There's
sense.
always those surprise nuggets,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And sometimes when you listen to completion, what you need is closer to the end,
Yeah,
right?
for
So
sure.
don't cut out short. But so far, we recorded a couple. Like I think it's safe to say that,
Yep, we
right?
have a good handful
Um,
already. And yeah, we're gonna sprinkle in from friends to
mhm.
practitioners to
Maybe
clientele,
family.
maybe family,
Yeah.
depending on, their interest in it.
Mhm.
Um, but definitely you guys will see our practitioners and maybe some of the regular clients that
Mhm.
are in here all the time in a more vulnerable state.
Mhm.
Um, and we just encourage you guys to listen to their story as a human and um, with an open mind on what they've gone through and what their practices are in spirituality and um, how they've gone through what they've been
Absolutely,
through.
yeah.
Um,
Some of the skills that they have learned, some
mhm,
of the just the things that
yeah,
they use as support through. So I personally have really enjoyed each and every
I
conversation.
have too.
We don't always get that time,
Yeah,
right? We don't
yeah.
always get an hour and a half.
hmm
Well, okay, so we do often.
I think it's a little
Yes, it's
different
different.
because we set out having these conversations
Hmm.
with a purpose.
Yeah.
And that changes the dynamic of those everyday
Hmm.
conversations because we could sit here and talk to, um, our practitioners every time they're in here, but we
Right.
don't really deep dive into them.
And it's often not
hmm
a lot of time,
Yeah,
right? It's when
no.
they're in between clients, either
hmm
you're working or I'm working.
hmm
But on these podcast days, it's super nice because there's someone covering and holding space for us,
Yeah,
or we've decided to just close for an hour and
yeah.
just to have those conversations and really dedicate time to being aware and
hmm
being present.
hmm
And it's been really enlightening.
Yeah, it really has because even though we have a foundation, we're still adding to that
Hmm.
foundation. And we learned something new every time we talk to our
Yeah.
practitioners, not even just because they're new coming in,
Hmm.
but because they're evolving. So their practice evolves, which means that our conversations are evolving
Hmm.
with them every time. We're evolving in that, and that's changing and impacting our practices.
Hmm.
And it's a whole circle um, journey. It's so,
It's a lot, and it's
yeah,
fun, and it's,
yeah,
rewarding and enlightening, as Carly's already mentioned before.
yeah.
Um, and, I find myself in some of these conversations
Mhm.
because some of our guests are a little more seasoned, right? They've got a little bit more life, not just
Yeah,
in age,
yeah,
but they've got a little bit more life experience,
yeah,
right? And so oftentimes it's fun to just sit and take a moment to be the student as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Definitely got schooled on some stuff today.
Ugh, yes, because we did record a podcast with a guest right before this one, and man, the things when you think you have healed and then you have conversations like that, you have realized you
Yeah,
still have healing
yeah,
to do. You still have things
mhm,
you need to let go. And that is part of the journey.
yeah,
You're never done healing. You're never done growing and learning and expanding and connecting. You're
mhm,
never done with it. You are always a student. So, um, another encouragement would be just to continue to be open-minded and continue
yeah,
to um, show up for yourself
mhm,
because at the end of the day, you are the person that you are affecting, whether you show up for yourself or you choose not to show up for yourself. There still is cause and effect in that.
yeah. And
Um,
sometimes, I've said different situations, different ways throughout the years. Sometimes you show up for others,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
And so, what if you're listening to something today and it doesn't quite sit with you, but it makes you think of someone else, right? Like
Yeah,
maybe that message that you're listening to today is so you can share it with someone else tomorrow.
right.
And so, yep,
Yeah,
sometimes you show up for someone else and you don't even know it in the moment. And you're
yeah,
like, well, what the hell was that, right?
mhm.
And then some of our conversations are kind of deep, right?
Yeah,
And detailed.
yeah,
So if you need to listen to it again, then listen to it again. Like, I'm listening to the Michael Singer podcast.
Okay.
I often have to pause or stop for the moment and come back to that later because sometimes I just need to hear it again with
Yeah.
a different set of ears. Maybe, not at the end of a long day or
Yeah.
maybe not, but, before bed.
Yeah.
So I really just, if you've made it to season 2, if you've made it through those first couple really rough episodes
Yeah.
where we were trying to figure shit out, um, thank you,
Yeah.
right? Thank you.
Yeah.
And then your future self thanks you too.
Yeah.
And
We
so,
have so much gratitude for you guys showing up for your journey and allowing us to be a part of that,
yeah.
because that's the goal. That's always been our goal, is to just show up where people need us. And as we evolve, we hope that we can continue to offer that support where you need it, but also having these
Mhm.
practitioners available for you guys. It's so enlightening, and there's just, I have so much gratitude for the people that have really rallied around the shop and want to be a part of something greater,
Yeah,
right? Um, because we can't do it by ourselves, and
right.
that's part of the village, and we
And
can't offer all of the things and all.
that was a long, hard lesson,
It really
right?
was.
Because people want us,
Hmm.
right? People want to sit with us. They want appointments with us. They want
Hmm.
sessions with us. And we appreciate that full force.
Yeah.
But if we're not careful, that creates burnout, right? Like that creates
Yeah.
exhaustion.
Oh.
And something one of our guests talked about was compassion fatigue, right?
Hmm.
So we've got to remember to fill our cup too,
Yeah.
which is another amazing reason to have all these
Yes.
people in the village, is because we get to experience firsthand
Yeah.
and then share with you.
Yeah.
So real quick, Karlie,
Yeah.
just so we don't forget, right?
Yeah.
And you may want to mention it again later too, and that's fine.
Okay.
Um, but there's some important information about the show notes, right?
Yes.
Because as we talk through these people, if they're practitioners,
Yes.
there's going to be extra information
Correct.
that is going to be shared so you can find these people,
Yeah.
right?
So even though they are part of our community and our shop, that doesn't mean they're here every day. So, for example, we can take appointments
Hmm.
whenever we feel like we have time and space for it, but we have one dedicated day a month for our service days.
Hmm.
And how would you guys know when we are available outside of that? Well,
Right.
you'd contact the shop, right? So we have contact information, Facebook links, website links, that I'm going to include in the show notes for every single one of our guests that is a practitioner, for you guys to be able to connect with them. There'll be a jot form included for our
Hmm.
intake, and we call it our continuing care intake form, where you choose what practitioners and what services you want to stay connected to. And it basically puts you on this priority list to where when these practitioners or ourselves have an appointment um, day, or we have availability for appointments, maybe we have cancellations and we know you're on a wait list, that we will contact you before we let the public know, like, hey, these, we have a spot open, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And sometimes it's even like last minute days, like maybe we have had something planned,
mhm.
like a day out, but the weather isn't really lining up for us to be out that day, on a field trip or whatever. So we're like, well, we can go in and run some appointments. We
Yeah,
can
for
shorten this
sure.
wait list.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
So,
So all of that communication will be in the show notes, just like ours always is. Um, and then also feel free to always message,
hmm,
shoot us an email, a text message. All the contact information is always in those show notes. We would love comments from you guys. Discussions in the comment section would be phenomenal.
hmm,
Um, we love the interaction. We love connecting with you guys. And if you can't get into the shop, we do have practitioners that do some virtual sessions as well. So feel free to ask those questions, because you
yeah.
never know. Like, I have a couple different services that are virtual, distance Reiki,
Hmm.
Carla does. And like I said, a couple others that do some form of
Mhm.
virtual healing
And
as
then
well.
there's some, I'm like Matt, like this is his whole job, right?
Hmm.
This is what he does. I mean, he does some floral design and other, um, entrepreneur businesses,
Hmm.
but this is his job.
Yeah,
So he does have a website and he does have ways to book with him virtually.
yeah,
In person is always much more fun,
yes,
but there's moments where we just need some time to reflect and
yeah,
grow. And so, it's almost like hitting a panic button, right?
hmm,
So you can still reach out to those practitioners as needed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, one thing that's been on my mind that I wanted to mention earlier, slipped my mind,
Hmm.
forgot, but we want you guys to understand with season two and why we have invited these guests onto season two is to kind of help bridge a gap where we think is a huge area that people are missing
Hmm.
about being in a spiritual journey. You can be spiritual without religion. You don't have to have any type of, you know, religious practice or a witchcraft practice or anything to be spiritual and be enlightened. Um, but you can you can find it in anything, right? You don't have to have any of
Hmm.
those, but you do have it in those types of things
Hmm.
as well. Um, so that's first and foremost. The second thing is to have some type of spiritual journey, regardless of the religious aspect, is a healing journey.
Hmm.
A lot of people miss that um, when they are trying to get into energy work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That you have to heal on some level to be able to progress in this type of journey. You can still do it without working on your healing journey,
It's
but
easier for you to
it's
go ahead and
definitely
do some
easier.
of the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
So,
going to be some people out there too, Carly,
mhm,
that aren't ready to be on a journey yet.
no,
They're just out there free falling, and that's
yeah,
okay too.
yeah,
So until you figure out what you want to do or where you want to be,
hmm,
there's days that we still don't have that figured out.
yeah,
You can still exist. You can still exist and share space and
hmm,
participate and dabble if you want to.
yeah,
Maybe you realize it's for you. Maybe you realize it's not for you, right? But
yeah,
how do you know if you're not showing up, right?
right,
Your next best thing for you could be right around the corner,
hmm,
literally, right?
yeah,
And so it's important to know that there's no judgment, there's no
hmm,
pressure.
yeah,
Um, we often greet people when they come in,
hmm,
come on in, make yourself at home. You come to me if you
hmm,
have questions. And typically, unless we are guided to come back out to you, like we're told to go pay check on that person, we are letting you look, smell, touch, feel all the feels
oh yeah,
um, on
for
your own,
yeah,
right? And we're here
hmm,
when you're ready.
yeah,
Does that make sense? So there's no pressure.
right. And when you are ready to be on that journey, you have to have some type of understanding that it is going to be uncomfortable
Mhm.
and you have to be okay with that uncomfortable for a
Yeah.
while. Know that the practitioners here, um, we all have some type of background in trauma informed care.
Mhm.
Um, we have a mental health aid certification in the shop. Um, and we all can hold space and share that space
Mhm.
as you work through some of those uncomfortable
Yeah.
moments. Um, we all, on some level, have certifications for discretion and we abide by um
The
what's the word?
client privilege,
Yep,
whatever.
yep.
Yeah.
Um, we're very private when it comes to clients. We show up just like we
Mhm.
would want somebody else to
Yeah.
show up for us in that aspect. So if you are seeking some type of support somewhere, have a conversation with us,
Mhm.
uncomfortable or not, and we can probably help you find
A foothold somewhere else.
somewhere.
So I'm
Yeah.
I'm smiling over here and
Yeah.
a little bit of a quiet giggle. I
Why?
think it's funny how many people assume that we have conversation
Um,
about clients in
yes,
between clients,
yes.
and they come out like, like,
I
"Well, I don't know
almost
what you're
kind of
talking
get
about."
offended about it
Yeah,
because it's often said, "Oh, well, Carla's probably already told you this," and then they go into it, and I'm like, "Well, no, because we don't talk about our
yeah,
clients like that. Like, we keep ours very separate unless we are specifically
mhm,
told, hey, go ahead and share this with
mhm,
XYZ because of whatever reason."
yeah.
We do not have those
And
conversations.
even in some of those conversations, like, you need to share that because I don't wanna fuck up the
Yeah,
renewal, right? So,
yeah,
there's that, and so it's kind of bittersweet.
mhm,
Like, I love the fact that we are that close,
yeah,
and that is just an assumed,
yeah,
to some level, it's assumed things. Well, you guys are bouncing ideas off each other and that kinda stuff too.
yeah,
But there's a couple reasons we don't, right? So one, what someone shares with you is none of my
mhm,
business until they make it my business,
right,
right? And then two, if you sit with Sue today, or I sit with Sue today, I don't come share that information with you because she may be your client later, and those
mhm,
are things, and maybe even different things, right?
mhm,
That you guys need to work through from that approach, because our approach is, while we serve the greater good, the higher consciousness, all those things,
yeah,
we have different practices and we
yeah,
have different approaches and we have, sometimes different viewpoints
yeah,
and, histories and backgrounds and
mhm,
all the things. So it's important that if I help you through a certain thing and then you go to Karlie for a certain thing, that there's awareness that it's different
mhm.
conversations. Yeah.
Like, just because we share a space does not mean that we share information all the
Yeah.
time. We share what's needed,
Yeah.
but we don't share private things. So, and our other practitioners also abide by
Mhm.
that as well.
Yeah.
They're very on point with that. Um, so yeah, we're really excited to launch
Squirrel.
season two.
Sorry.
I know. Well, it's information
Yeah.
they
Okay.
need, right?
Gotcha.
So season two, December 26th, 2025.
Okay. So now there's some specific reasoning to those dates.
Yes.
I did reflect just a moment.
Okay.
We did have conversation about splitting the year,
Mhm.
and that was just one of the easier things. And then
Yeah.
because you celebrate the will,
Yeah.
um, so you'll, wow, glitched. Yule
Yeah.
was a good neutral time frame
Transition.
to transition
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
the new. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So when we launched the podcast, timing just kind of fell around the summer solstice.
hmm
So that is what? Litha.
hmm
Yeah. So season one launched the week of Litha, if not the day of Litha. And so looking at the timelines and everything, I was like, oh, well, Yule is a good time to
hmm
transition into a new season, right? Because we're transitioning at that time as
hmm
well. It's about halfway through the year
yeah.
that we've done. So that was one aspect of why I
hmm
chose Yule, just
yeah.
because the timing
And I'm
kind
gonna
of
look
fit.
at the moon calendar again because the moons are something that I pay
Yeah.
attention to, right? But I do think that I know I looked right before this
Hmm.
too. The new moon is nah, not quite. But
No.
we're coming up on a new moon, so it's a good time to wrap up things.
Yeah.
So
So whew, I'm so sorry,
it's
y'all.
been a long
Two
day.
podcasts
Yeah,
today and a Akashic Records meditation. Really, it kicked my ass.
yeah, in a
It's
good
been
way.
good. Like
Yeah.
I'm not physically tired, but like I can start feeling like the mental, it's like,
Mhm,
okay, now I have to start slipping into the descent of the day and just
mhm,
start like relaxing. So, but that's kind of the whole point of Yule
yeah,
is you slip into that rest, that
yeah,
reflection as you begin a new year. And I thought switching into season two, where we're talking about these
mhm.
topics, was pretty much that prime time of,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yep. And then going into Yule and that transition too into the winter season. It also gives time for people to listen to these podcasts
Yeah.
and maybe make a list of like who you want to meet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if there's someone that you're super excited about meeting, then I definitely encourage you to get on their wait list, like
Mm-hmm.
ASAP, right?
Yeah, and like I said, every episode we will have that jot form
Yeah.
in there. And if you listen to season 1, that jot form link isn't specifically linked in the show notes, but in our Beacons link, which has all of our Facebook, our websites, all the things, the jot form's in there too. I updated that and
Okay.
added the jot form in there. So you guys can go back and find those in other episodes as well.
There's new stuff on those jot forms. There's new
Yeah.
verbiage. There's new enlightenments on how people are described.
Yeah.
As we are also owning some of our new power, some of our new energy, not really power,
Our
but
value.
yeah,
Our
it's kind
value.
of crazy to
Yeah.
see how that evolves. Yeah.
So we're really excited. And you guys might see us in different locations. There was some field trips that we made to go record a few of these. So you'll see some
Look
new
at me, I'm trying to
locations.
figure out where we went.
Earth
okay.
Alchemy is one. Yeah. I think that's been the only one.
Gotcha.
I'm thinking about it now. But
I didn't
I
solo, you
digress on that.
recorded one.
And you've recorded, yeah. So as we continue season 2 as well, I think we're going to extend season 2 to be the whole year of 26 because it's not just our practitioners, but it's some of our close friends, it's some of our clients, and we find value in everyone's story. You know, from
100%, yeah.
from the addict to turned keynote speaker to a pagan that grew up with her grandmother and now follows her tradition and is waving her own path in her paganism journey, to somebody that had no idea what the fuck this was, to being able to reconnect with her brother and have that that moment with him again, and just so many others in between.
And I hope those stories, look,
I'm
I can
getting
see
so
that
goosebumpy now. Like,
she's got a little glossy-eyed squishiness going on too. But these stories and the testimonies, if I'm allowed to use that word, they go back.
They go back
some of them go back far.
Yeah.
And then some of them are fresh, new, within 2025 relationships and that kind of thing too. So it's good to see the evolution, you know.
There'll be some with religious trauma.
Some.
Well, most. I'm
Sorry,
thinking of someone specific with that. But yes, there's going to be tons, and we hope that it helps bridge the gap between what spirituality is pushed to made to be into what spirituality and having a practice actually is. And it is a way of life in everyday mundane situations. It's how you show up with yourself and how you continue to do better for yourself, which makes you a better person to other people, right? It talks about the messiness of the emotions and the roller coaster of how this journey is not linear. And we go into talking about the grieving process of what you lose as you change and gain a new version of yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
And who knows, maybe someday someone will transcribe all this stuff, edit here and there.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have a little book on our hands.
It's already transcribed.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Like I can, like all of them, I do subtitles on everything. So if people can't listen, they can read. Yeah. So we have all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, we just need to compile some things in apparently.
Yeah.
Which that's
another
day.
Day. Yeah. Another project for way down the road because we don't need anything on our plates right now. But welcome to season 2, y'all. Thanks for being here.
Should I get off the pod?
That's gonna be the tagline for 2026. Should I get off the pod?
2026, that's funny.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.